Welcome to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Hello and welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. It's good to be back in the studio in London with my brother Doyle, freestyle DM Doyle. Was on the Don Robbie streams very recently. How are you, my bro?
I'm alright, a bit stressed out after that Chelsea game, but otherwise, I'm sound, lad. Looking forward to the season going on. Let's see what happens, innit?
Yeah, well, that's all we can hope for. And we will get into transfers or lack of transfers shortly, but this is a new video that we're introducing to the channel. It's going to be every month. It's the monthly review with Doyle. So we're looking at August today, obviously the last day of August today. Yep. Perfect time to look back on the month already. Before we get into the video, just give us a little like. You know what I mean? Just tap it. It doesn't take you long at all, and it helps. It helps with the algorithms. It helps if you comment as well, and it helps, of course, if you subscribe and hit that bell too. Hot Topics out yesterday. Go back and watch that after this video. But let's get back into the August season review, the monthly review that we're going to start here on the Kop TV. It started off this month with a 3-1 win against Osasuna at Anfield. I was at that game. It was the first game where there was up to 75% of fans allowed back into the stadium. And listen, it was a 3-1 win. Bobby scored 2, there was an own goal. And it just gives you that kind of good vibe feeling. Yeah. Definitely different to how it is at the end of the month. But it started off, again, after that, the day after, we had a 1-1 draw with Bilbao. It would have been nice to win that game.
It was a good game, though.
Talk to me about those pre-seasons.
I enjoyed seeing the fans back more than anything, to be honest, just watching the Red Men. After the Euros as well, we were all quite disappointed. So for me, it was just about getting back to the Prem, watching my team and just enjoying that. So when seeing them fans back like that was wonderful. It gave me goosebumps and stuff. And then we won the first game back at Anfield and it was great. But yeah, good to with winning that second one. That would have been nice.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have beaten Bilbao. Good fans they had there in support at Anfield. Managed to speak to a couple of them after. Osasuna as well. I've been to their stadium in Pamplona and seen them beat Atletico 3-1 in 2008. So soft spot for those two teams there. Now let's get into the Premier League. We couldn't have started one with the better opening fixture, I think. Yeah. Even though we always assume that Norwich away is a hard game, we win there whenever we play, really.
We're their bogey team, aren't we, lads? Simple as that, really. Even without Suarez. Suarez was their
home or away.
Yeah, we seem to do them. Like, no disrespect to them. Everyone has a bogey team, and we are theirs for some reason. Don't know what.
Hang on, we say this like we haven't drawn them in the League Cup. And Kabak is going to score a header against us. But we'll get on to that. We'll get on to that. But it was 3-0. Again, clean sheet to start off the season.
Lovely.
A goal for Salah, a goal for Bobby on the day, and a goal for Jota. So it was very pleasing. And then we, of course, followed that up with a 2-0 win at home to Burnley. Now, that was good, I was at that game in the Nike box, and obviously I would have preferred to have been in the Kop, you know what I mean? But the steak and champagne wasn't that bad, so I grinned and bared it. But again, that was the first time, and it's almost like every game at Anfield we're saying, oh, it's the first time, but this was 100%
proper
back in town kind of business. And I'm not going to lie to you, until we scored the first goal, Burnley were looking good in that game.
Yeah, they were, lads. It was a tight game. They come and put the pressure on us, and they were just physical, like Burnley always are, lad. But it was still a great game to watch. I enjoyed that game thoroughly, lad. It was like a good display of football, to be quite honest. And then when we finally got that goal, Liverpool started to grow into the game and take over a little bit. But do you know what I liked about that game? Harvey Elliott, lad. Oh. Right, hey, how many times did he get clamped, lad? Do you just see him
getting straight back up?
Yeah, lad, getting up and just being tenacious and just getting up and dribbling the ball and not being scared. Like, that was like a big thing for me when I seen him doing that. I was like, that's why Klopp likes you, lad. You've got talent, but you also work hard and you're not scared. That was brilliant, that. And I found out from the Burnley fan, Chris, right? Blackburn and Burnley have beef, don't they?
Yeah.
Didn't know that myself. I didn't know that, you know.
Lancashire,
really
yeah.
So no wonder. He went to Blackburn, didn't he? So no wonder. Burnley probably just looked at him and went, hey,
we're getting him.
Get him, lads. Just get him, lads.
But even if it wasn't Burnley, I feel like any team that comes up against Harvey Elliott now, they're looking at him like, wait till I break your ankle, or wait till I give you one in the first 5 minutes. But against Chelsea, he was the one making that big tackle in the first 2 minutes. And now I think, let's cast our minds back to the end of the season. We were saying, is Harvey Elliott ready? He's had a good loan spell at Blackburn. Maybe he'll get 10 to 15 games. I said that. And now I'm saying this kid's going to get 25 plus games for Liverpool this season, bro.
And I love that. I do. I really, 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 really do. As long as we respect the other lad that we've got who plays in that position, Curtis, because he's a Scouser, he's one of our own lads. It's important that he is respected and not released in this. We're talking about transfers in a moment, but I don't want to see this kid get shipped off anywhere. I really don't.
If he goes, I'm right.
I'll be really upset with that lad. He's not. It's not just because he's a Scouser, by the way. That boy's got bags of talent. He's a technical player. He's one of the most technical Scousers I've seen, other than Trent. So if we get rid of him, I'll be quite unhappy regardless. I love Harvey Elliott as well, great player, but I still want to see Curtis on that team as well.
Me too. And Harvey Elliott at this stage is not only keeping out Curtis Jones, Keita, Thiago, Ox. These are all players that are way more experienced than he is. But one other thing about Curtis Jones, from being at the pre-season game where he had to go off with a concussion, I was speaking to someone who works at the club, and obviously I'm not going to say who it was, but they were telling me this is his last season now at Liverpool, and he has to impress. Not the best start for him. He hasn't been involved in any of the games so far, but obviously with the League Cup coming up, with the Champions League, which he did play in last season, scored at home against Ajax.
I think he had a great season last season, lad. I genuinely do.
It was a breakthrough season for him.
It really was, yeah.
And if he goes, I'll be devastated. Obviously, he needs this season to show us what he can do and really fight for that new deal. But just the fact that he's a Scouser alone, I know that's not been enough sometimes for the likes of Adam Morgan, for the likes of Flanagan, Jordan Rossiter, Jay Spearing. These lads were Scousers, which is what you want in your team, and we've obviously got Trent as our main Scouser in the team. But sometimes it's not enough to keep you at the club, is it?
Yeah, I mean, like, in this Liverpool squad, this is the best Liverpool squad I've seen in my life. Like, you need bags of talent to stay in it, and you need to have end product as well. It's not just about being talented. You need end product. You need to see results out of your game. So it's hard for him. He's coming to a team where it's going to be struggling to get in, but I still want to see him at the club, lad. I still think in a few years...
He's got so much to offer.
How old is he, 21?
I think he's 21.
Where else could you see him going, lad? Where he wouldn't...
First of all, he wouldn't want to go anywhere.
No.
And if he does go somewhere, it would be against his will.
Exactly.
I mean, there was rumours that Aston Villa were circling yesterday.
Yeah, I've seen it for 15 mil, lad. And that's why I'm saying this now, because I just... please don't do that to him. Like, he deserves a shot, just the same as Harvey Elliott is getting, and I respect Harvey Elliott a lot because he's fantastic. But so is Curtis, so please keep the both of them. They're both prospects for the future. Keep them, pair of them.
But you look what Curtis Jones has already achieved for the England under-21s, and if you ask them lads who they think is up there in terms of the England under-21 squad, who's technically the most gifted, they'd be saying Curtis Jones, because there were moments last season where he had incredible games, and I think Klopp... I just hope Klopp gives him as much of a chance this season as he deserves, because he is wasted sitting on the bench. But then again, we want to win every game. Every game and every competition. So does Klopp go, well, we might not win it if we play him? Maybe not, because he can't have that attitude with Harvey Elliott, because if he's starting him against Chelsea, he thinks we're going to win the game. But let's talk about Chelsea. 1-0 at the weekend. I mean, did the fan cams outside the Kop. You were on the Don Robbie stream. We've all had a lot to say about it. After it's kind of settled now, the one thing that's become clear to me about that game, we thought Anthony Taylor had a rubbish game, especially from where I was sitting in the Kop. Trust me, he was getting pelters, verbal pelters, all game. But Chelsea fans seem to think he had an even worse game. And let's dispel this myth now, whilst we're sitting around this table. That's a red card, yeah?
In the rule book, that's a red card. I mean, I can see why people think it's harsh.
It's his arm going like this after.
I can see why people think it's harsh in the sense that it's hit his leg first and whatever else, but the main point is, it was going to hit his leg and go into the goal, so it doesn't really matter if it's hit his leg first, because he stopped a goal-scoring opportunity on the line. It's just unfortunate, really unlucky. I like Reece James, I think he's a great player. Don't think he's dishonest at all. think he's a quality human being as well as a player. Just unlucky, lads. Very unlucky.
I mean, it wasn't exactly Suarez v Ghana at the 2010 World Cup. And then when they missed the pen, Suarez is giving it all this.
That was the worst one I've ever seen in my life.
There's shithousery and then there's that, bro. I mean, it's not the first and it's not probably the last thing that Suarez will do.
Evil stuff, that lad.
But it's a red card, right? I mean, if that happened to Van Dijk at the Kop end, I'd expect him to be sent off. I'd be gutted, but I'd expect it. I mean, it goes back to this scar that I've got here. And we're actually scar brothers from football injuries. But you can't really see it, but I got this scar because a kid, when I was 12, went round the keeper. Keeper was in no man's land. I was the centre-back. I've gone on the line. He smashed it at my face, and I've put my arm up. The bone has popped out the skin, but I've got sent off because I've stopped it from going in the goal. So not only did I break my arm, I've got the red card as well, but I was like, I'm not asked about the red card. I'm asked about this bone sticking out. Am I okay there? So interesting decision that has obviously, I think 10 years ago, there's no doubt, but because this double jeopardy rule has come in now where you could wipe out the striker running through on goal as the last man and only get a yellow card for it. And there was an argument for that. But listen, when it's on the line and you stop to goal and your hand goes like that, you could see Reece James when he was running off and the ref blew up to go to VAR. There's a moment where he goes, heavy. He knows what's coming. And I think all the acting, what? That was a load of rubbish.
It's one of them, lads.
You know what you've done.
It's unlucky. He didn't intentionally go to handball it, but then when it hit his hand, he handballed it. So if it's anywhere else on the pitch, he's just getting a yellow card. Simple as that, really. But it's not.
But you stopped a goal.
Yeah, you stopped a goal. So it's unlucky, lad.
Yeah, obviously we would have preferred to have won that game. 7 points out of 9. How would you kind of sum up the season so far in terms of Premier League in the month of August? 2 wins and a draw.
We played Chelsea, arguably the strongest side in the Premier League right now. So
them and City, aren't they?
Gutted that we didn't win that game, and they played a nice low block and stopped us. I guess personally, I don't like that style of football. I really don't, and I know there's an art to defending and all that type of stuff. But it's not
let me play devil's advocate here, because first half and second half, Liverpool played better football than Chelsea. That's not up for debate. What I can maybe make an argument for Chelsea, when you get a player sent off, you have to change it.
I don't think he did, though, in my opinion.
But you have to become more defensive. And listen, if we were playing away at Barcelona, let's say in the Champions League, and let's say Robbo gets sent off after 40 minutes, you're not telling me we're going out all-out attack. And you actually have to maybe tip your hat to Tuchel, because he's controlled the game. And he's made them not lose, which is what obviously was... Well, a lot of people thought would happen when they go down to 10.
I guess for me, it didn't really change from the first half to the second half. It was a little bit more defensive because he had 10 men, but he still had 11 men in his own half after he scored that goal. Simple as that, he did. Lukaku was in his own half at the start of the game to the end of the game a lot of the time. So for me, I get it. There's the art of defending and stuff, and it's like a low block, and it's.
Is it good coaching that he drew that game?
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Like, that's the reality of it. It is. It's great coaching. He's got them organised and knows where to be. Because if we play against the Burnley or a Norwich or someone else that does a low block, we can break through them, can't we? But he coached them well, and they've got good players as well to maintain that coaching. So yeah, great. But for me, it's still a really boring style of football, and I really don't like to see it. And I think I get frustrated with it just simply because Liverpool really, and historically as well, struggle to break down low blocks. In the last few years, we've been better at it, but in that Chelsea game, I could just see it coming back, lad. I could just see us struggling to break down a low block again, and it was frustrating me so much, because I'm like, Liverpool can score through these sometimes, and that game, we just couldn't do it, lad.
For me, I have to admit, actually, I mean, from where I was sitting in the Kop, was very close to Azpilicueta, and I have to say, he's been at that club for 10 years now, and some of the things that he was doing on the day were what I would call shithousery moves. But he's a good defender. He's a leader. He's won them a lot of trophies, and I have to actually give a little bit of credit here to Azpilicueta, because to stay at that club through all those managers, for all that spending, and still be starting most games and be the captain of Chelsea.
He's a great player, lad. The team is great, lad.
And he's not getting any younger. I have to actually say fair play to Azpilicueta.
100%. That Chelsea team is insane, lad. And it goes to show what a coach can do to a club, because they had Frank Lampard and he did all right. But with Thomas Tuchel, they've just stepped it up, haven't they, lad? And you can tell that.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, I don't like to see it, like, but you got to give respect where it's due. And that team, they look.
It's one of them where you have to respect it, but you don't have to like it.
Yeah. And that's it, really. That's exactly it, lad. I respect what they're going to do and what they have done. But it's not my style. I prefer to play offensive football like Klopp does. But still, I'm worried about Chelsea, lads,
Yeah. Before we talk about our League Cup draw, the Champions League draw, and transfers, because of course it is transfer deadline day, what would you rate this month out of 10? Let's give it a rating.
When we talk about transfers?
Transfers, draws, games, pre-season, sum it all up, the whole month out of 10.
I'm going to have to say a 5, and the reason I'm saying a 5, right, it's a bit heavy, that, isn't it? We got 2 wins, great, and made up we got them 2 wins, but it's gone all the way down for the fact that we've let 19 players out of this club and only brought 1 in.
And that could be added to today.
Yeah.
So you're going to give it a 5?
Maybe, yeah, I'll give it a 6.
6 out of 10.
It's not the players' fault. I'm talking about the backing of the club here right now. Like, this is how can you get rid of 19 players and only get 1 in, lads?
Yeah, we'll talk about transfers very shortly, but in the League Cup draw, which happened in August, we get Norwich in the 3rd round, which, I mean, I was saying this to James yesterday on Hot Topics. I would love us to win a domestic cup this year.
It would be nice,
just because I'd love Klopp to leave Liverpool when he eventually does and say, I want it all. Yeah. Because yesterday, James rightly said, in terms of major trophies, all we've done is win the Premier League and Champions League, which sounds crazy when you say it, all we've done. It's what we've wanted to do for 30 years.
Yeah,
but we've not done anything else.
I know, I get it.
Or is that a bit harsh?
Yeah, it's definitely a bit harsh.
Sorry, James.
I'm not like, Jay knows what he's talking about, he knows footy, lad. But like, for me, we had 4 years of almost dominance. The only reason why we didn't win it was because they had that City team. Which
I'd say 3 years.
3 years, yeah, 3 years where we got 90, how many points was it that we didn't win the league with?
96.
That's unbelievable. Like
97
97,
maybe,
lads, yeah. That's unbelievable. Like,
it's literally like top 3 scores of all time.
If at any other time in the season, we would have won 2 Premier Leagues and a Champions League.
And 2 Champions Leagues, probably.
Yeah, and we've come runners up in the Champions League. Like, for me, Klopp has been given the most resources any other manager has for a long time, and he's utilised them. And that's not to say that he's being given a lot of resources, because he hasn't been given as much as other managers. But I do think that's the thing that Klopp is good at. He looks at the tools that he's got and he makes it work, and that's what he did. And he did get the back, and we did buy Virgil van Dijk for £75 million.
But that's only because we sold Coutinho.
I get it, I do get it, but still, £75 million.
Do you think we would have spent that money if we didn't sell Coutinho?
No. Alisson, £75 million as well, though. And that is backing, in my opinion. That is to a certain extent.
That was in 2018.
However, this is the problem with our owners right now, is they let things stagnate and they let it go too far, and then it's over then. It's finished. You can't do that, lads.
Bro.
You've got to invest while it's hot still, and we have to do it. Like, if I don't see it like a shock signing today, lad, I'm gonna be a little bit upset, you know, because them other clubs now, Lukaku, Sancho, Ronaldo, Varane, Jack Grealish, like, this is serious, guys.
Even Arsenal.
Yeah, like,
they've spent the most out of anyone.
Players are making moves and we're not. We're shipping players out, like, and it's time to get somebody in. This is hard work.
we still, there's about 10 hours to go of the transfer window. I mean, I've been watching all this morning. The only rumours that we're being linked with at the minute are players leaving us. Reece Williams about to go to Swansea on loan for the season. There was talks that you said Nat Phillips could be going to Burnley.
Yeah.
I mean, there was talks of Curtis Jones going to Aston Villa.
15 mil.
I mean, at the start of the window, when I was doing the daily transfer updates, I was saying, guys, let's not panic. We've already got one great name in. You know, let's see how we fare at the end of the window. I was very keen to not pass judgment on this window until today. But now I'm sitting here today at the end of the window, and I can't lie to you, I'm very upset.
Yeah.
I'm very upset. I mean, look how much it took us for a replacement for Lovren last season. Look how stubborn we were to do that. We ended up getting in Ben Davis. We got in Nat Phillips into the team. And we kind of papered over the crack. But there's, like you said, you don't want things to get stagnant. Whilst the iron is hot, iron all your clothes. You know, whilst we were runners-up, we should have gone again in the window. When we won the league, we should have gone again in the window. And we got away with it because these players are coming to the end of maybe a 5-year cycle where they're all together. Yeah. But now, today, as we stand here, or sit here, I should say, I'm scrolling through Twitter, bro, I'm not seeing nothing. I'm not seeing anything. No Basuma, no Rafinha. What happened to all these links? Why? I would just like to know why we're not buying players, because money isn't an issue. It can't be anymore. Why are we not buying players? And James said it yesterday. Klopp is having his prime years not wasted, but undermined by the fact that FSG aren't going. You've done so well with this squad. make it better. Here's 100 mil, even 100 mil. And yes, we've bought Konate for 35. We've probably made 40 or 50 from selling 19 or 20 players. Why have we not signed anyone, Doyle?
I don't know, mate. The only thing I can think of is that our owners are businessmen, and they are good businessmen. They are. We can't say they're not. They've took this club into a good position. And from
like I'm getting tweets now. Alex told you we wasn't going to do any business. I've said this from the start.
This is heavy, like.
Why am I getting tweets like that?
The only thing I can think of, lad, yeah, is there's something coming in January. There's something coming in next season. Man. I know, lad. I know. But that's the only thing I can think of, lad. Like, we are not struggling for money. We surely cannot be struggling for money to get rid of 19 players. So in my mind, that's freeing up space and wages and whatever else for somebody to come and fill a gap. It's got to be that, because surely they see letting somebody like Wijnaldum go. You can't replace, and no, this is no disrespect to this kid. Harvey Elliott is insane. He's a great prospect. I am so happy he's at our club. But you can't replace Gini Wijnaldum with a new prospect like Harvey Elliott, I suppose, just because it's not the same experience when you need to win things now. And that's just the way I see it. Like, we should have replaced.
If I was to offer you something now, in terms of a transfer, where I'd say, I'm not going to get you a midfielder, because we've got Keita, we've got Curtis Jones, we've got Milner still there, we've got the Ox, we've got all these players that can fill in. I'm not going to buy you a midfielder, but I am going to buy you a winger, because I think we need that more than a midfielder. You look at the news today, Firmino injured. I mean, last night I saw reports of up to 3 months, and then James Pearce this morning has said it's a lot less serious than that. Either way, he's injured, and he's not going to be available for at least the next 2 or 3 weeks. So that means you've got Mane, Salah, Jota, who are going to start now. Let's say Jota gets injured after the first 5 minutes. You look into the bench, Origi comes on. You're then relying on Origi to be putting in the goals for the next 2 weeks after that. Why have we not and we know that Klopp doesn't like to buy a big number 9. He got rid of Benteke as soon as he could. We don't buy big number 9s, but we buy interchangeable forwards, Someone like a Rafinha, someone like a Salah or a Jota or a Mane, who can play in every position. At least get one of them. At least get one of them, bro.
I guess in my mind, you could slap Harvey Elliott into a right wing, left wing position, and he'd do well there. I think it was actually surprising.
But we need one more. We've got Minamino there as well, who
it's the same thing.
Scored against Bilbao in the friendly. But again, I just think we're too short.
Who would you like to see come in on the wing? Like, I'd seen Doku, we were linked with, seen Rafinha.
I would have loved a Doku, a Rafinha, or even someone like a Traore. I think we were in the market for someone like that. I got a text from a Red, the Chelsea game, and he said to me, Alex, imagine if we could have brought Traore on for the last 15 against Chelsea.
Wild shout from me, like, and it's obviously not going to happen, but I would have loved, you know what I'm going to say, lad, someone mad, I would have loved Haaland, Haaland,
and that's not above our station.
No, it's not, lad.
But we're sitting here, I'm sitting here going, forget that, we're not going to get, why am I saying that?
That's sad, isn't it?
How many of them have we got? We've got 6 of them.
6 of these big
we've got one of them, got 18, look, as you can see.
That's madness.
Are we not big enough to be pulling in the big names here? Like, I'm struggling. I just want an explanation. You saw the Aston Villa chairman come out and give their incredible video saying why we sold Jack Grealish. Here's where the money's going to get reinvested. Where's that transparency with FSG? And I'm not for 1 second saying I'm FSG out. I'm saying, give us something. Even back in 2013 when John Henry tweets, what are they smoking at the Emirates? It's just a tweet.
Something would have been good. A picture of 19 players out on one end going, John, what's happening, lad? You know what I mean? Like,
Can you get your wallet up there, John?
What's going on? John, have you seen this, lad? Hey,
10 hours to go, John.
Hey, what's going on, kid? No, like, I get it, lad. I'd love that transparency myself, and it's a bit of a shame that we don't get it. The last time we heard from our bloody owners, lad, was about the Super League fiasco, lad. So
don't blame us. We're sorry. We should never have done it. Like, I hear all that. You messed up with the ticket prices. You messed up with the Super League.
So gives Haaland.
And listen, again, I'm not saying I'm FSG out, but look at all the things that they've done. They saved us, bro. They got us in the Champions League. So there's a lot of things that we can say, yes, FSG, well done. But right now, as things stand, John Henry, I'm looking at you, bro, and I'm saying, why have you not reinvested? Why are you allowing a manager with the potential, with the world-class ability that Klopp has, why are you just letting him work with what he's got? Why are you not gifting him more tools
with all due
to
respect
win the
to our
league?
players as well, saying that, like, because we've got to be totally honest, like, Jota has come into our side
Unbelievable.
and been incredible. Like,
Best minutes to goals ratio of any Liverpool player ever.
When he come, no one expected that, so we'll give them the credit there as well. Like, they have bought, usually when they do buy players, they buy good players and they're effective, and we're quite good at that. We're really lucky in that sense as well, because we don't actually buy a lot of players. The ones that we do buy turn out to be really good players. So,
like Tsimikas is looking like,
oh my
he carries on.
Simi looks boss, lad.
Yeah, so listen, there's a lot of pluses. There's some great players that we've bought, bro, but I can't help on this day out of all days on transfer deadline, but not criticise, but ask the question.
I think as well as we're probably feeling about, or like in our feelings about this, because all the other clubs have bought someone.
I'm not asked about that.
I know.
Because I felt this way at the end of the season.
It'll still
when Ginny left, I felt the same way as I do now. We can't go another window without improving. You know, how long can Mane, Firmino and Salah be our strikers for Liverpool? I'm not saying that I want them to disperse and all split up, but you have to give them someone else there to challenge, bro. Yeah. Keep them on their toes. I mean, listen, obviously today we've also announced that we've pinned down Jordan Henderson for another 4 years, which I love.
We love you, lads.
Properly. But there is a little part of me, Doyle, that thinks, really? Today?
Yeah.
You're announcing that today?
Yeah, and sneaky.
And listen, I do not want to go down the comments of that social media post that Liverpool announced saying Henderson new contract. I was there saying, love it, son. That's why I commented, because that's what Henderson says.
Love it, son. Our captain, lad.
Yeah,
champion.
Jordan Henderson, I love you
we
forever.
Love you, lad.
I'll do I'll die for you.
Yeah, we
Literally,
love you,
I
lad.
love you so much.
We love you,
yeah? And it's not your fault that the club have chosen this day to announce it, but let us know in the comments. I mean, it's
to mask over it, lad. It's like, everybody knows how much Liverpool fans adore Jordan Henderson. He's our captain, we love him.
I love him,
yeah,
love it, son.
But they've announced the guy that we love signing a new contract on the day that we are being basically told is, no one's coming to the club either, though, you know what I mean? Like,
new contract for Henzo, though.
Yeah.
Just focus on that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a bit of a diversion, like, so, other than that, like, I'm really happy to see Hendo. Listen, this is joyous, lad.
Alisson, Van Dijk, Trent, Robertson, Salah, hopefully very soon.
Yeah,
Henderson's pinned down.
I'm not joking, lad.
That's 7 hopefully great names that the spine of our team has been built on in the last 3 or 4 years.
And that maybe is one of the reasons why we haven't bought someone, lads, because if you look at FSG,
you still have to get one.
I get it.
Bro.
I agree.
You've got to buy one.
With you, but I'm trying to John's not told me nothing, lad. So I'm trying to.
John, if you're watching,
yeah, I'm just trying to work this out, lad. So it must be that the owners are thinking, okay, so we don't invest in 30 plus players. What we'll actually do this time is do that. We'll give Salah, Mane, Firmino, Hendo these contract extensions that they want, because we're going to trust them with our money instead. Does that make sense? We're going to trust these players with our money instead of buying a new player, which is sort of life, but also gives a little Traore there as well, lad.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
Traore, we could have got him at the start of the window for 30 mil. They want 50 mil for him now.
50 mil, lad.
So, again, we've lost that chance. Jeremy Doku as well. I think he would have been perfect.
I would have preferred him.
Perfect.
He looked great. He's a prospect.
Someone like Neto. I know we can't just keep going and taking Wolves players every year.
But Neto's
someone like Jimenez as well, though, bro. How good would he have been to back up Bobby? I mean,
Neto would have been a beast. Like, I like that Neto kid. He's brilliant.
I mean, we just saw Don Robbie himself come in the studio and completely take the piss out of us. I mean, listen, if there's no one that can speak up with chest at the minute, especially if you're an Arsenal fan. But at least they've dipped into the window. They might have dipped into it wrong and bought the wrong players, but you have to take that risk. Liverpool just don't want to take risk right now. We're looking here at Ainsley Maitland-Niles going to Everton, Salomon Rondon going to Everton. There's talks about it. Even Everton are getting involved in this. You see Dan James going to Leeds for 30 mil.
For 1.6 mil.
1.5 mil, what a signing that is, by the way. We could have got him for 1 mil, probably.
He would have been bossed there on the wing.
I mean, Adam Rowe, comedian at the Hot Water Comedy Club, he goes 4 hours ago, and it's got a lot of interactions. I just can't get my head around this transfer window as a Liverpool fan. The main thing that's confusing me is that we're told from multiple credible sources that we inquired about Mbappe, and while that was never realistic, the inquiry means there must be some money there. Surely. He goes on to say, I've always sort of respected the Klopp-Liverpool stance of we get the right man or we get nobody. But when the right man is a nailed-on future Ballon d'Or winner who grew up with Real Madrid posters on his wall, there has to be a backup plan. Obviously, yes, you don't just inquire about Mbappe without having 100 mil in the bank.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
So there must be some money there. And you're blind if you think we don't need some backup. I totally agree with
Adam, lads. Yeah,
with Adam there, lad.
Absolutely spot on.
People are saying as well that rightfully they're delighted to see Hendo sign a new deal, but I mean, unless something crazy happens, and we're sticking around today, unless something crazy happens and we do get someone, we're going to go live and we'll talk about that and we'll say how happy we are. We'll be talking about that. But right now, at lunchtime, I'm scrolling through Twitter and I'm seeing nothing but
as well
nothing.
As, I don't know if you've noticed this yourself, we usually do our business very early in the transfer window and get it done. So
and we did that with Konate.
I'm not really hopeful today that we'll get anybody, to be quite honest, lad. I think I've just said, this is your resources, lad, this is what you're going to use, do your best with it, like, and that's it, really. And when you look, and for me, the owners have got to look at all these other clubs investing, like, you've got to look at Chelsea. Chelsea are going to take the spot, like, they're going to, if you don't invest in the club. They're fantastic, they've invested in all the right spaces.
Even United,
now.
bro.
Yeah.
I'm not, like, again, we spoke about Ronaldo joining United yesterday and how that impacts Salah. Does he want to go harder now for the Ballon d'Or, for the Golden Boot? Because trust me, Ronaldo ain't coming here to just score 5 or 10. He's coming here to break every record again.
Do you know what I'm more worried about with Ronaldo, right? He's definitely, right, in the 18-yard box, 6-yard box, one of the best finishes that's ever existed, ever, lads. Yeah. Wow, oh my days. But I'm more worried about his winning mentality that he's bringing to Manchester United.
He's going to spread across.
Yeah, that fella was won it all. He is the greatest champion, lad. And he's going to go to Man United and go, listen to me, young lads. I've done it, been there, done that, lads. You listen to me and we'll win. He's going to bring that winning mentality to Man United, which is scary. Terrifying, lads. That's what's scary.
And the last
to
time
me,
he
lads.
played against Liverpool, he won a Champions League final against us. So again, there's a revenge there to be had. Listen, like we said, we're gonna cut it off now before we start crying, I think, because we're looking around at all this activity and just none of it's happening at our club. Like we said, we will be going live today if something happens. I think we will be involved as well for the transfer deadline show here at Don Robbie HQ. So lock into that, where we'll probably be talking about how we've not signed anyone and how, we're very upset right now. So maybe don't look into it, you know what I mean? Or just watch this.
Unless you like seeing Scousers cry, because
there will be a lot of people that like seeing Scousers cry, so don't say that. Don't encourage them. But yes, Doyle, brilliant to catch up with you. Like I said, we're going to be doing this every month now, a monthly review. Doyle's given August, was it a 6 out of 10?
Yeah, I'm going to have to with them transfers, lad.
Yeah, hopefully September.
Not the players. Players have been, in my opinion, a good solid 8, 9 out of 10. Fantastic, love you all, guys.
But it's everything around it.
Yeah.
6 out of 10 this month. Let's hope September is a 7 or 8, because don't forget, Leeds, AC Milan, Crystal Palace, an away Champions League tie, I think, at Atletico Madrid.
That's terrifying.
And then there's another international break, which we're currently experiencing now. But there's a lot of big games. Let's hope that we can get someone in today. I don't think it's going to happen. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe to the Kop TV. We're on a very good little roll right now. A lot of videos coming out. Hit up the Instagram as well, at the Kop TV. Make sure we can get as many followers on there as possible and help us get to 10K as soon as possible as well. We want to do it before Christmas. So if you can help, do that. Go and subscribe to Doyle as well. He's on the channel. Well, he's an OG, really, of the Kop TV. He's actually, behind the scenes, one of the main reasons this channel was put together, really. So big up to you, and hopefully we'll see you later to talk about a new transfer. If not, I guess we'll see you tomorrow or something. Take care.
Whoa, just before you go,
don't forget, give us a like, drop us a comment and subscribe to the Kop TV.
the voice of football's most famous stand.